A very good morning. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Breakfast News. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines of this morning. 10 bogies of Delhi-bound Kaifiyat Express derail in Auraiya in Uttar Pradesh. No casualties reported. At least 21 people injured. Bihar floods claims 341 lives. Prime Minister to make aerial survey on August 26. Assam Chief Minister asks Centre to restore snapped rail links in the state. By-polls for 4 assembly seats in Delhi, Goa and Andhra Pradesh. Manohar Parrikar contest from Panji. Triangular fight in Bhavana. Nepalese Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba to arrive today. Visit in the backdrop of India-China standoff and Beijing attempts to woo Nepal. And Devendra Jhajharia and Sardar Singh to be honoured with Khel Ratna, Cheteshwar Pujara and Harmanpreet Kaur among 17 to get Arjun Awards. And first, the big development of this morning, 10 bogies of the Delhi-bound Kaifiyat Express derailed in Auraiya district of Uttar Pradesh early this morning. No casualties have been reported so far. At least 21 people have been injured and they have been admitted to a nearby hospitals. Public Relations Officer of the North Central Railway says that the bogies derailed following a collision of the train with a dumper between Achalda and Pata railway stations. Traffic on Delhi-Howrah route has been disrupted. Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu tweeted that he is personally monitoring the rescue and relief operations. This train derailment comes close on the heels of the derailment of the Utkal Express in Muzaffarnagar, in which 22 people were killed.
एक डंपर जो था गेट के पास वो आके कुछ फिसल के चलती ट्रेन से टकराया है, जिसकी वजह से ये डिरेलमेंट हुआ है। और अभी और डिटेल्स प्रारंभिक जानकारी में नहीं मिली हैं। कैजुअलिटी और इंजरी की फिगर के बारे में कोई जानकारी नहीं है। कुछ लोगों को जो घायल है उनको अटेंड किया जा रहा है। एम्बुलेंसेज वहां पहुंच गई हैं और पूरा जो रिलीफ और रेस्क्यू मशीनरी है उसको हम मोबिलाइज कर रहे हैं।
ये 12-225 कैफियत एक्सप्रेस है जो आजमगढ़ से शुरू होकर दिल्ली तक जाती है। इस ट्रेन का अवपतन हुआ है, डिरेलमेंट हुआ है बिटवीन पाता एंड अछलदा स्टेशंस। कानपुर इटावा सेक्शन पड़ता है अप लाइन, मतलब इलाहाबाद से अब दिल्ली जाएंगे। और ये कानपुर इटावा सेक्शन में खबर ये आ रही है कि एक डंपर था जो कि ईंट गारा वगैरह वर्क साइट पर डालता है, वो पटरी पे अचानक उलट गया और इससे इंजन टकरा गया। 10 कोचेस और इंजन इनके डिरेलमेंट की खबर है। किसी के मारे जाने की खबर नहीं है। 12 लोगों को इंजरी होने की खबर है।
On some more news, voting for the by-polls to 4 assembly seats in Delhi, Goa and Andhra Pradesh has begun. 1 seat in Delhi, 2 in Goa and 1 in Andhra Pradesh are voting today to elect their leaders. Here is a detailed report.
By-polls are being held for 4 seats, 2 in Goa and 1 each in Delhi and Andhra Pradesh. In Goa, by-polls are being held for Panaji and Valpoi. In Panaji, Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar is pitted against Congress's Girish Chodankar and Anand Shirodkar of the Goa Suraksha Manch. In Valpoi, BJP's Vishwajit Rani is contesting against Congress's Roy Nayak. In Andhra Pradesh, 2.1 lakh voters of the Nandyal Assembly constituency in Kurnool are exercising their franchise. The poll was necessitated after the death of sitting MLA Bhumanagi Reddy. The Telugu Desam party has fielded the late leader's nephew, Brahmananda Reddy, while the YSR Congress has put up former minister Silpa Chandra Mohan Reddy. The single-seat by-poll in Delhi is being held for Bhavana. Over 2.94 lakh eligible voters, including 4,102 first-timers, are choosing between 8 candidates who are in the fray. The by-poll was necessitated due to the resignation of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Ved Prakash after he joined the BJP ahead of the MCD polls. Prakash is now the BJP candidate. Aam Aadmi Party has named Ramchandra as its candidate, while the Congress has fielded Surendra Kumar, a former 3-time MLA from Bhavana. Voter verifiable paper audit trail with EVMs and control units are being used at polling stations this time. The counting of votes for the by-polls takes place on August 28. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, we'll go across to our correspondent, Panchanan Mishra, who is joining us live from Bhavana. Panchanan, a very good morning, first of all. And tell me that Bhavana is witnessing a three-cornered contest for a single seat. How important is this win for the political parties, if we consider it psychologically, to boost their morale?
Yeah, very good morning, Smriti. We are here at one of the polling stations in Bhavana. It's a one constituency out of 70 in Delhi, which is going for the by-election due to the candidate of MLA of Aam Aadmi Party quit the party and joined the BJP. And now he is the candidate in the by-election from the BJP. So, as you mentioned, that it is a three-corner fight. And also a prestige issue for all the three political parties, major three political parties, Aam Aadmi Party, BJP and also Congress. And this seat is very important for all the political parties, and all the big leaders are taking it very seriously, because for the BJP it may be a series of win, because earlier they lost a big win in the Rajouri Garden by-election, and earlier to that BJP won the MCD elections. So in the same point of view, Aam Aadmi Party will try to win this seat, because due to the 5 consecutive loss in Delhi, in MCD election, in Goa and Punjab by-election, in Goa and Punjab assembly election, and also the student union election, they were defeated. So Aam Aadmi Party will try it more best to retain the seat. So the Congress is also trying very hard, and big leaders of Congress party also has campaigned for this one by-election seat in Bhavana. So you may say that it is a one seat of Delhi Assembly has become the prestige issue for all the political parties, and we are witnessing the same energy, same strength in this by-election. Smriti.
Thank you so much, Panchanan, for getting us all those details. And moving on, in a historic judgment, the Supreme Court struck down the Muslim practice of triple talaq, calling it unconstitutional and even against the tenets of Islam. The move has been hailed as a crucial move towards the gender justice and women empowerment. Here is a look at the major developments that took place through the day. The government, however, has indicated that there was no need for a new law on triple talaq, since existing laws, including the one dealing with domestic violence, are sufficient.
The Supreme Court has struck down the Muslim practice of triple talaq, calling it unconstitutional. By a 3-2 majority verdict, the apex court held that the triple talaq was void, illegal and unconstitutional and against the tenets of Islam. The decision comes after an SC bench comprising of 5 judges of 5 different faiths deliberated for 3 months. In the landmark judgment, the SC bench also referred to abolition of triple talaq in Islamic countries, asking why independent India cannot get rid of it. The Supreme Court said triple talaq violates fundamental rights of Muslim women as it irrevocably ends marriage. The minority verdict of Chief Justice J.S. Kheher and Justice S. Abdul Nazir was in favour of putting on hold for 6 months the practice of triple talaq and asking the government to come out with a law. The majority verdict by Justices Kurian Joseph, R.F. Nariman and U.U. Lalit held it as violative of the Constitution.
The majority judgment is in sync with current position prevailing in India and other parts of the world. The majority judgment has realized that it is completely an anathema to millions of Muslim women who from the time they are born live under fear and apprehension that tomorrow they may not have a hearth and a home.
Cheers erupted among the petitioners and victims of triple talaq as soon as the judgment was delivered. The All India Muslim Women Personal Law Board called it a victory of Islam and Muslim women in the country.
ये इतिहास में लिखा जाएगा कि इतना बेबाक और इतना निष्पक्ष और इतना ईमानदारी और सच्चाई का फैसला आया है, जो सीधे सीधे कह दिया कि एक सांस में एक ही बैठक में 3 तलाक असंवैधानिक है। तो मैं समझती हूँ माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कुरान शरीफ के कानून को बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझा है और उसके बाद फैसला किया।
आज की तारीख बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक तारीख है और जो ये मुस्लिम जो महिलाओं की स्थिति में जो सुधार होगा और उनके लिए मुस्लिम महिलाओं के लिए बहुत ही बड़ा दिन है।
ये बहुत ऐतिहासिक फैसला है। ये हमारे लिए मतलब मैं आपको डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकती कितनी खुशी की बात है। हम मुसलमान औरतों ने बहुत मेहनत किया है, पिछले कई सालों से मेहनत किया है इस दिन के लिए, जहां आज ये कहा गया है, बेंच ने कहा है कि देश में 3 तलाक अब से गैरकानूनी है।
The Prime Minister too hailed the Supreme Court judgment, calling it a powerful measure for women empowerment. BJP party President Amit Shah called the judgment the dawn of a new era for Muslim women.
It's a great victory for all those who've always believed that personal laws in India must also be progressive and must be compliant with the constitutional guarantees.
It's a one step forward for gender justice and gender equality, and it's good for क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा है ना कि कानून बनाना है, तो अब सरकार इसको कंसीडर करेगी.
Meanwhile, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has said that it will chalk out its future course of action in its working committee meeting on the 10th of September in Bhopal.
We respect the judgments of the Supreme Court. In past also we have respected it. We consider this judgment and our study also in the meeting of the Executive Committee of the Personal Law Board, which is going to be held on 10th of September at Bhopal.
The Muslim women who had filed the petitions had challenged the practice of triple talaq, in which the husband pronounces talaq thrice in one go, sometimes even by phone or a text message to get divorce. The centre had earlier told the bench that it will come out with a law to regulate marriage and divorce among Muslims if triple talaq is held invalid and unconstitutional by the apex court. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged the citizens to work for India's development, addressing a conference of CEOs and startups in the capital on Tuesday. Prime Minister said that welfare and happiness of people is of paramount importance for the government. Addressing over 200 young CEOs, the Prime Minister said the country's corporate sector can act as a great social force for poverty alleviation.
जो सरकार में है उसके लिए सरकार कहां रही उसके बजाय ज्यादा देश कहां पहुंचा उसकी जिम्मेवारी रहती है. देश के आखिरी तबके का व्यक्ति कहां पहुंचा ये उसका दायित्व है. मेरे देश को आगे ले जाने के लिए मुझे आपका साथ चाहिए. मैं और आप कंधे से कंधा मिला करके काम करें और ये तब होगा जब हमारा मीटिंग ऑफ माइंड होगा. आपकी सोच मेरी योजना का हिस्सा बने. मेरी सोच आपके पुरुषार्थ का एक आधार बन जाए. आप देखिए कैसा बड़ा बदलाव आ सकता है.
Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba will arrive on a 5-day state visit to India today. This will be the first foreign trip since assuming office in June this year. It holds significance as both India and Nepal look to advance their age-old special ties of friendship. Deuba's visit comes at a time when India and China are locked in a prolonged border standoff, and China is trying to woo Nepal for its strategic interests.
Nepal's Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba will arrive on his first foreign visit to India on Wednesday. His 4-day trip will include meetings with the President, the Vice President and wide-ranging talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on bilateral issues. Cooperation on security and development, as well as regional and international issues, will be major areas of discussion between the two Prime Ministers. A high-level delegation will accompany Deuba, who will be extended a special courtesy to stay at the Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Big development project in Nepal that is going to be constructed from Indian assistance, and on the top of that is Pancheshwar Development Authority, Arun Tesro, Upper Tamakoshi and other infrastructure development. And I sense that the both sides and political leaders of the both countries want to push those big projects from this visit. and other agendas are related to the reconstruction of Nepal's reconstruction effort and India's assistance to it.
Deuba's visit comes at a time when Nepal has been battered by floods that claimed more than 100 lives. Nepalese opposition parties are blaming India for what they call unilateral construction of about 15 embankments for the devastation. Deuba is also likely to urge the Indian government to speedily implement the past agreements.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर का हमेशा से शुरू से ही जो फर्स्ट विजिट रहा है वो इंडिया का ही होता है। इससे क्या होता है ना कि ये नेपाल और इंडिया के रिलेशनशिप का क्लोजनेस भी दिखाता है ये चीज़ें। और दूसरी तरफ ये भी है कि इंडिया भी चाहता है कि नेपाल के प्राइम मिनिस्टर का विजिट इंडिया ही हो, हमेशा मतलब पहला विजिट इंडिया ही हो। तो ये जो फर्स्ट विजिट का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है नेपाल के प्राइम मिनिस्टर का इंडिया के प्रति और यहाँ के पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप का जो उनको बुलाने का पहला विजिट कराने का, तो ये पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल सारे एस्पेक्ट से ये क्लोजनेस को ही दर्शाता है।
Deuba will also travel to Hyderabad, Tirupati and Bodh Gaya during his visit. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Uzbekistan Foreign Affairs Minister Abdulaziz Kamilov, who is on a 5-day visit to India, called on Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Delhi on Tuesday. Both leaders discussed issues of mutual importance, during which Uzbekistan Foreign Minister briefed him about the cooperation between the two countries. Kamilov also had extensive delegation-level talks with the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Kamilov's trip is a follow-up to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to Astana for the meeting with SCO heads of the states. India and Uzbekistan have close relations based on centuries of historical and cultural linkages. The relationship was elevated to a strategic partnership during the visit of late President Islam Kamirov in 2011. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Uzbekistan in 2015 and 16. The flood situation in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh remains grim, with lakhs of people being affected in both the states. At least 341 people died in Bihar, whereas 84 died in Uttar Pradesh. In Assam and West Bengal, the situation has improved. The NDRF and army have been pressed into service to evacuate those stranded. Unprecedented heavy rains have unleashed floods, wreaking havoc in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. In Bihar, the flood situation has further deteriorated. At least 341 people have lost their lives and nearly 1.38 crore people have been hit in around 18 districts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will conduct an aerial survey of the affected areas on August 26th. Indian Army and teams of State Disaster Relief Force have stepped up rescue operations to evacuate thousands of people displaced by the deluge.
प्रभावित जनसंख्या जो हमारे 127 पंचायतों में लगभग 8 लाख के आसपास है अभी, और ये बढ़ भी सकती है क्योंकि पानी जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ रहा है तो हम लोगों के दूसरे पंचायतों में, प्रखंडों में भी वो प्रवेश कर रहा है.
In Uttar Pradesh, the death toll has risen to 84 due to the floods. Over 20 lakh people are affected across 24 districts. Most of the rivers in the state are flowing above the danger mark.
हम लोगों के यहाँ बाढ़ से घर में पानी घुस रहा है, इसलिए जानवर लेकर के, बच्चों को लेकर के बंधे पर हैं. अभी तक कोई भी अधिकारी नहीं आया, कोई भी प्रशासन का आदमी नहीं आया, जबकि हम लोग एसडीएम को फोन करके बता भी दिए हैं कि हम लोग बहुत परेशानी में.
In Assam, the flood situation has improved further, with the water receding from human habitation and agricultural fields. No fresh deaths have been reported due to the deluge. The water of Brahmaputra, Dhansiri and Kopili river are still flowing above the danger mark. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has requested Centre for the earliest restoration of the train services and smooth movement of surface transport to ease suffering of flood-affected people. Meanwhile, in West Bengal, the situation in the 6 hit districts of the North Bengal has also improved. No fresh deaths have been reported. However, the train services still remain suspended. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. With swine flu claiming 8 more lives in Gujarat in the last 24 hours, the death toll has reached 288 since January this year. At present, 1,877 H1N1 infected people are being treated in different hospitals across the state. Among these, 22 are on ventilator. The centre's 3-member team of experts arrived to take stock of the situation. They directed health officials to visit private hospitals to provide guidance to doctors, staff members as well as patients about the treatment of the swine flu. The death toll in swine flu mounted to 19 in Odisha, with 3 persons succumbing to the H1N1 virus. As per the reports, while 2 patients died at SCB Medical Hospital in Cuttack, another death was reported from a private hospital in Bhubaneswar. Health and Family Welfare Minister P.K. Jeena said 235 people have tested positive for the disease in the state so far. And the political drama continued in Tamil Nadu on Tuesday as 19 MLAs withdrew support from the ruling AIADMK a day after they supported Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy. The MLAs met the governor and said they no longer have the confidence in the Chief Minister, prompting the opposition DMK to demand a trust vote.
A day after the 2 rival AIADMK factions came together, a new crisis is brewing inside the ruling party in Tamil Nadu. 19 MLAs supporting Party Deputy General Secretary TTV Dinakaran on Tuesday withdrew support to CM E. Palaniswamy. The 19 MLAs are among the 121 MLAs who supported Chief Minister E. Palaniswamy. They have told Governor C.V. Rao that they had no confidence in the Chief Minister.
All the 19 MLAs met Excellency Governor and submitted the letter. These things has happened this morning. If no motion confidence, already I think announced by Stalin from DMK party, we will wait and see that our Deputy General Secretary will take decision later what we want to do.
Meanwhile, Dinakaran sacked senior leader and Rajya Sabha MP R. Vathalingam from all party posts. Dinakaran also dubbed the AIADMK merger as a betrayal of Party General Secretary V.K. Shashikala. In a series of tweets, he also questioned the durability of the arrangement. The move comes a day after Vathalingam, a loyalist of the Chief Minister, said steps will be taken to remove jailed party chief V.K. Shashikala from the AIADMK.
Now, kind information, we removed one Vaidilingam from the party. Just now removed our Deputy General Secretary. One by one we will go seriously, no doubt about it. Our target is both the EPS and zero PS. Zero Pannirselvam and Edapadi Pannirselvam.
In another development, DMK President M.K. Stalin wrote to the governor demanding a trust vote in the assembly. With the revolt by the 19 MLAs, the merged AIADMK has only 114 votes, 3 short of the majority mark in the assembly. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Former Manipur Chief Minister and a member of the first Lok Sabha, Rishan Keshing, passed away on Tuesday. The veteran Congress leader was 96. Keshing, a Naga, served as the Chief Minister of Manipur from 1980 to 1988 and from 1994 to 1997. He passed away due to multiple organ failure. Keshing was elected to the Lok Sabha in the first parliamentary elections held in 1952. He had also represented Manipur in Rajya Sabha. Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Minister of State for Home Jiju condoled his demise. Rajnath described him as a towering leader from Manipur. Manipur Governor Najma Heptola expressed her sadness and condoled the demise of Keshing. The state government has declared that all government offices and educational institutions will be closed today. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Vice President Rahul Gandhi also expressed their condolences at his passing away. And shifting our focus on the international front, the US has imposed sanctions on a dozen Russian and Chinese companies and individuals it accuses of helping North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Earlier this month, members of the UN Security Council, including Russia and China, voted for further sanctions against Pyongyang. The US Treasury said that the move would increase pressure on North Korea. China responded swiftly, calling on the US to immediately correct its mistake of punishing its firms. The US Office of Foreign Assets Control designated 10 companies and 6 individuals in the sanctions. The action means that American individuals and companies are no longer permitted to do business with these firms. A series of missile tests by Pyongyang has increased tensions between North Korea and the US, with both sides engaged in a heated exchange of threats.
With North Korea is not a concession. It is the only way to reach agreement to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula and to reinforce that our military strength is there only to deter aggression and defend against attack. We must acknowledge that a preventive war would not solve this problem, and it would make matters much, much worse.
An American Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, on Tuesday warned that the US could consider punishing Pakistan by cutting off its status as a major non-NATO ally if it does not crack down on militants. Tillerson echoed US President Donald Trump's tough rhetoric on Pakistan in his address, laying out a new strategy for the war in Afghanistan. Tillerson stressed that the US is ready to help Pakistan address terrorist organizations inside its country, but they must adopt a different approach themselves. His comments come after Trump announced his Afghan policy and the path forward to the US engagement in South Asia, India and Pakistan in particular.
We are going to be engaging with them in a very serious and thorough way as to our expectations and the conditions that go with that. And all of those things you just listed are on the table for discussion if, in fact, they are unwilling to change their posture or change their approach to how they're dealing with the numerous terrorist organizations that find safe haven inside of Pakistan.
And on to the sports news now. The Sports Ministry has announced the winners of the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, Arjun, Dronacharya and Dhyan Chand Awards. Paralympian star Devendra Jhajharia and former Indian hockey skipper Sardar Singh has been honoured with the prestigious Khel Ratna Award. The Dhyan Chand Award for the lifetime contribution to sports will be awarded to Bhupendra Singh, Syed Shahid Hakim and Sumarai Tete. The Dronacharya Award will be awarded to late Dr. R. Gandhi, Hiranand Kataria, GSSV Prasad, Brij Bhushan Mohanty, P.A. Rafael, Sanjoy Chakravarti and Roshan Lal. Indian batsman Cheteshwar Pujara, Indian women's cricket team all-rounder Harmanpreet Kaur, Paralympic medalist Mariyappan Thangavelu and Varun Bhatti and golfer SSP Chaurasia are among the 17 players who will be awarded with Arjun Award this year. National Sports Awards every year to recognize and reward the excellence in sports. The awardees will receive their awards from the President of India at a specially organized function at the Rashtrapati Bhavan on 29th of August. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.